What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hasan Piker, and this is the Hasanabi broadcast coming to you live from sunny California, Los Angeles. We are live once again. Boys, girls, MBs, we are live and alive. You were setting up an E-Trade account? Don't do that. I would never do that. Not even because of like an ethical conundrum or anything like that, by making money off of your capital, but literally because I am one, too stupid, or rather too smart to do stonks, especially stonks that revolve around a bubble, a short squeeze bubble on steroids. But I wish you all the best of luck. Hopefully you figure out when to pull out, and hopefully your parachute cord is strong. I'm seeing a lot of movement in this community of like lefties who are losing their minds over fucking stock trading all of a sudden, like day trading.
So excited to be a dead.
And we will talk about that eventually, but you know, chill the fuck out, guys. Don't do anything stupid, okay? Don't bet the farm on a fucking on a meme over here. Especially at this stage when you're literally buying into something that has been overvalued by like 10x as a consequence of this push.
Hassle.
Anyway, just don't be risky. Don't make stupid decisions. There's a lot of news to cover today. There's a lot of good news to cover. Jack Wagner resurfaced this old video from the Alpha House. Oh, we're definitely gonna look at this in a second, dude. Okay, I gotta fucking turn off this like hide map shit. This is like Garbo, dude. Oh my god. Okay, I gotta. Yes, of course, there is a Hasanabi front page interview that I did with fashion magazine Hasanabi. I read it earlier this morning, but excited to read it again. Convo, the meme stonks convo might be getting regulation from big government in the form of Joseph Robinette Biden. He's gonna call on the SEC to cut the malarkey, Jack. Anyway, in personal news, I did not go to the gym today because it's way too fucking cold. What are you drinking out of? The skulls of my enemies. Is that a pimple? Yes, let's do it. There's not a lot to talk about in personal news, so you know what? It's time to welcome the Normans into our home, folks. Daycare is now open. Day traders take on a hedge fund. Will Biden implement the malarkey protocol on the SEC? There is a lot going on. No, Biden did not end the private prison malarkey. I talked about this yesterday. Not only was that executive order basically just a revamp of the Obama era executive order, especially because private prisons only are a tiny fraction of the problem in the federal prison system, but it is within his jurisdiction. But even then, within his jurisdiction, he did not do all that he could as far as literally stopping private prison contracts from the ICE and Department of Homeland Security utilizing private prison and using private facilities. It's still bullshit. So it's not as good as you think it is, folks. I'm sorry to do that. Hikaru criticized you for being happy about GME? Wait, why? Wait, really?
Gang shite.
I thought this was like a unique instance where like literally everyone would be on board with this. I'm surprised that anyone, because like the villain here is so fucking perfect. The villain here is literally hedge funds. And barring like extreme circumstances, you are talking about hedge funds that require you to have at least $1 million. You require you to put in at least $250,000. Require you to, require to be very, very wealthy. Okay, this is not like people's nest eggs or anything like that. So the villains are perfect. Their actions are perfect, which is an exploit of overshorting, like overshorting a company, literally pushing the company into a state of disrepair. Devaluing the stock, undermining the company's value further beyond what it should be, right? Valuation is already a fucking weird game. All right, what am I doing? I'm talking about all this. Hikaru's probably pissed because he has money in a hedge fund. He probably does. He's a very wealthy guy. And look, you're a very wealthy guy and you put your money in a hedge fund. Like, I can't fucking tell you not to do that. Why? No one operates the way I do. Okay. Like no one is fucking stupid like I am. But regardless of where you put your money or what you fucking do with your own money, like you look at the situation and you see hedge funds behaving in the way that they have been behaving for a very long time, which is still technically market manipulation or stock price manipulation when it's a hedge fund operating in this way. Like you got to recognize that someone literally taking advantage of that is exactly the same principle from a I sometimes love making the neoliberal argument for the very same things that neoliberals are criticizing, and I can build it out for you perfectly. If you are to make the argument that shorting is actually not unethical and shorting is good because it's a market corrective measure that showcases the inherent flaws within a company that is overvalued by shorting it and lowering the stock prices and therefore pushing the company to the verge of bankruptcy because that company was already slated to be bankrupt, right? Because it was not a profitable institution or whatever. Then you can literally say this exact same thing about pushing the fucking about this big push that you're seeing from the collective action over at the subreddit Wall Street Bets. Why? Well, if you fucking over leverage or if you over short a company like this and you literally don't hedge appropriately and you try to make as much money as you possibly can off of this sort of fairly unethical practice, then yeah, you're gonna get fucking owned and you're gonna get fucking wrecked. And that's precisely what's happening right now. So even from a neoliberal free market principle standpoint, you literally are ironically doing market corrective behavior. That's the free market. That's literally the fucking free market. Sucks to suck.
Welcome, Normans.
I will be watching the Chamath interview. He is very good at just like ripping apart CNBC hosts. Apparently they were like crying and shit. The car was happy about GME too, but he said that our economy that allows this to happen, which apparently means you can be happy about it. Our economy allows this to happen. The reason why I'm happy about it is because this is an inherent flaw, like a very clear, glaring, obvious flaw in the way that our stock market is designed. And I think this exposes that flaw. And watching moneybags, shitbags and moneybags who literally fucking decry at any like smell of regulation are now turning around and literally fucking begging those who hold on to institutional power and control to please regulate the market a little bit, because the little guy is now finally fucking us for one moment, for a brief moment. Yeah, fuck that. Of course that's going to be fucking awesome for someone like myself who overall believes usury is a sin. Okay? I mean, memes. That's memes. But like, I don't like the stock market. I don't engage in stock trading. I wish we could have a system set in place that was more ethical than, you know, faceless, lifeless capital owners literally fucking making money off of their pre-existing capital. Okay? Like accumulating capital off of their pre-existing capital rather than actually putting the fucking work and the sweat of their brow in the form of some kind of labor, because labor ultimately is a very fulfilling endeavor and can give your life a lot of meaning, right? And I don't mean like literally backbreaking labor or cleaning up toilets or some shit. I mean like literally anything that you do that gives your life a little bit more value, especially if you lack alienation from your labor. That's my belief. That's why I live the way I do. That's why I fucking spend all of my waking moments doing something that I love and making money exclusively off of doing what I love. Right? You should put your money into a Roth IRA or mutual fund. Yeah, that's a great example. Roth IRAs, 401ks are basically another way that we have privatized or financialized rather a fundamental government function. Okay, Social Security and pension programs back in the day, and pensions have a lot of understandable weaknesses, like companies fucking going under and
GME.
you know, that sort of thing. But like Social Security is a safety net that should literally eliminate the need for a fucking a 401k. We have literally financialized something and privatized something that the government should be handling for you, right? Completely something that the government should be handling for you. But having said that, I would never in a fucking million years get mad at someone who's making, who's putting some of their nest egg that they literally toil the land for, okay, and break their backs over by adding a piece of that into their fucking 401k so they can not die and live the rest of their days out once they are finally able to retire with a shred of dignity. Like, it's insane.
Love you, chat.
Current short borrow rate for GME is almost 40%. That's a fee for a short seller. That's a fee short seller pays the stockholder to borrow their stock to create a short position. Usually that's around 0.30, not 40%. Yeah, at the end of this push is going to be whoever buys the dip, whoever shorts at the appropriate time at the perfect peak is going to be literally making gorillion dollars. Like $1 gorillion. But I don't know when that moment will come. And also, I'm not going to fucking become an investor. And you also literally have to be safe and don't fucking be an idiot, okay? Like, let's see what happens on Friday. The #1 Dota streamer has a surprisingly good take.
Are gonna mold at me, and everybody that's involved in stocks is gonna mold at me, but listen carefully. All of it is just literally running on pure ass copium. Everything is a fucking pyramid scheme scam. Everything. Like, where do you find the value? Like, it's just, you know, like it's just propped up by people saying it will go up. Just hold, lol. Hold the GME. Hold Bitcoin, lol. It's all of it.
I mean,
Hey, Hasan. Just wanted to tell you that you
yeah,
completely changed
that's finance
my political
capitalism to a
perspective
T.
from good to
I'm
socialist and
sorry,
gave me some good
but
talking
that's
points to use
literally
against my
how
moderate family.
finance,
Hasselman,
like
keep
that is
doing what
how
you're doing.
finance capitalism works. Okay. He's right. It's all speculative. Yes, there are assets tied to valuations. Yes, there are, you know, there's revenue tied to valuations, but for the most part, yeah, that's straight up. It is what it is. It's gambling, and that's why I say what I say. It's literally fucking gambling. Anyway, to the people who are
6 months.
the irony, of course, in all of this, I'm sorry to say this, but the irony in all of this is literally people that are yelling about fucking GameStop
Hasan, what do you
stocks
think of having a partner
being overvalued are the exact same people that are like, no, you don't understand, you fool. Tesla stock is based on the speculation that they're a technology company. So actually, regardless of the fact that they're not producing anywhere near the amount of cars, for example, as other competitive car manufacturers, what they're doing is something completely different, and therefore their valuation is actually not higher. Literally, it's the same fucking principle, dude. And what you are doing on the one end is getting mad at fucking Redditors for pumping up the fucking stocks on GameStop. Here, I'll make the argument for GameStop. Actually, the Chewy person getting on the board of GameStop is a phenomenal change of pace for them. They obviously had big pushes in the holiday season when they were selling a lot of fucking video game consoles. And if they were to restructure and maybe even fucking liquidate some of these insane fucking stocks that they have now, they could potentially go out and buy an esports organization, which is a growing sector, and therefore all of a sudden they have a tremendous amount of upside for their future. They could restructure their entire company now because now they're valued in the fucking billions. Great. There you go. There you go. That is literally no different than what the fuck people do to justify describing to you why Tesla has basically no fucking ceiling in their valuation. Also, just because I'm a fucking himbo who shits on the stock market all the goddamn time doesn't mean I literally fundamentally do not understand these concepts. Okay? I know a lot of you fucking neoliberals come in here every goddamn day and think you're so fucking smart because, you know, I shit on stocks and don't have a fucking credit card, but I personally choose not to participate in this shit rather than, oh, I don't participate in it because I'm too stupid. My brain doesn't work good.
Stocks only go up 5 head.
Except Wall Street Bets loves Tesla. Yeah, because it's the same shit, dude. It's literally the same shit. It's the same shit.
Isn't TTS annoying to talk over?
Fuck capitalism, actually.
In each other's mouth. Anyway, have you seen Amelia Watson's huge
Yo, this
so
dude's awesome. Okay, never mind.
Her and Girish should get married and have little shark
Will day traders take on a hedge fund, or will Biden implement the malarkey protocol on the SEC? Latest update and some good news on COVID. Let's go. I'm live. I forgot to fucking welcome the Normans into our home, dude. It just, all of this sucks. Ultimately, it's fun, and I like it because I'm fucking doomer-pilled and black-pilled and shit, so I enjoy a brief moment of celebration where I revel in watching these fucking highfalutin, you know, big city lawyers and Yale graduate hedge fund managers who have relied on their extensive networks of intergenerational wealth recipients for far too fucking long. I love that, like, some fucking dipshit on Wall Street Bets who literally took like $600 in fucking additional money that he had for the first time in his goddamn life in his like pathetic fucking existence was able to turn that $600 into $6,000 for the time being. Okay? And I hope they can do this more. I hope that this kind of collective action literally distributes money directly from the fucking billionaires back to at least the upper middle class and the middle-class individuals who are engaging in these sorts of shenanigans. Ultimately, in the long run, the house always wins. And I'm sorry to tell this to you guys, but institutional traders, these establishment traders, institutional traders, they are the ones who build the fucking house. This is their house. They're going to make the money in the end. Someone is going to make a fuckload of money ultimately when people start pulling out, and you have to remember that. So don't be fucking stupid. I'm not giving you investment advice. I'm a fucking idiot. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But like literally, don't be fucking stupid and put like, you know, your house and the car and take out a mortgage and like do this dumb shit because you're gonna get fucking owned because no one gives a fuck about you. You are not protected. If there's anything that you can learn from this story, there's anything you can learn from this story, it is that when hedge funds fucking manipulate stock prices by literally overshorting and pushing companies into a state of fucking disarray, that's not considered market manipulation. But when you get together and engage in a collective action of liking a stonk and you know, taking it up to the fucking moon and holding it there for as long as it takes for these motherfuckers to get robbed dry, well, then that's actually manipulation, and that's no good. And the only principle there is the exact same principle that we have seen time and time again. It's the same exact principle when Mitch McConnell says, well, I'm sorry, we can't give you $2,000 because, you know, one poor person getting $2,000 might mean that the economy is completely falling apart. They will die. These motherfuckers will die before they give you a fucking breadcrumb, okay? They will die before they give you a single fucking breadcrumb. They do not want you to dream. They do not want you to believe. They do not want you to even think that you are entitled to any sort of compensation beyond the lifetime of toiling the goddamn soil like the fucking peasant you are. Okay? They do not want you to pick your head up and look at the sky and for a brief moment recognize that, like, fuck, maybe I could get more. Okay?
$A.M.C.
Anyway.
Until Friday to the moon, Sam. $knock until Friday to the moon, Sam. $knock until Friday to the moon, Sam.
Having said that, though, rise up gamers. I mean, it's fucking awesome.
Friday to the moon.
BlackRock is the little guy. See, that's what I'm saying. No, I know BlackRock is not the little guy. Dude, why do you think you're making a snarky fucking comment when, like, we are in agreement? Like, ultimately, it came out that BlackRock still owns 13% of GameStop, so they're fucking making out like gangbusters, all right? But they own literally everything. They own the stock market, dumbass. Good luck making a trade that doesn't fucking touch BlackRock in some way, or at least some form of fucking gigantic hedge fund.
Yesterday, and you never saw it. At least I never saw you see it. Sorry for being a TTS Andy Pogo. Let's hope GameStop, AMC, and Nokia goes to the moon, and more hedge funds lose billions and all credibility.
Anyway.
Whoa.
People literally realizing they can pick themselves up using the system they advocate for, but it costs them some money and they get 1000x stimmy from their friend, and now JRB is watching the situation. What? Stop lurking young kids to this. You are irresponsible. Really? I'm irresponsible by describing the circumstances of a situation while simultaneously telling you not to make fucking idiotic decisions and, like, get in on a fucking meme hype. If anything, I'm the only person making a responsible take on here, just because your brain processing power lacks the capability to understand exactly the words that are coming out of my mouth doesn't mean I'm fucking irresponsible. It just means you're a dumbass. Oh, I'm too stupid to understand what you're saying. So it's your fault, not mine. Anyway.
3 months Pog helping Hasan make his 2 cents an hour.
Even in this minor victory, even in this seemingly minor victory for the retail investor, which is not exactly the little guy to begin with. I mean, you got to have at least some kind of fucking breadcrumbs that you stashed away to be able to do that. So it's not like, I mean, there are actually a lot of fucking poor people that engage in this. It is basically like retail, like day trading and this sort of like retail investing is basically like the stupid tax that's implemented on people that go and you know, buy lottery tickets.
My one share, but
it is kind of like that.
$4.25 or $11 in store credit. What should I do? Take store credit. But
ultimately, for the first time ever, people have been able to at least like see the number value go up in their accounts. Okay.
Time well spent.
And even in that circumstance, it's not the little guys that are going to make the most money. It's still the big guys that are going to make the most money. BlackRock is one of the greatest examples of this. Okay. You're hearing about BlackRock. Robin Hood is making a fuckload of money. That very same hedge fund, that engages in high frequency trading, like the market maker or whatever the fuck it's called, the one that literally bailed out the other hedge fund that they're robbing blind right now. That hedge fund, Citadel, is making money off of literally all of this.
What the GME situation is and why it's
not 72. I'm talking about Citadel. So it's like these guys are not gonna go away. Like. They literally bailed out Melvin Capital so they could, or Citadel isn't a hedge fund, whatever. So rich people are gonna find a way to make more money off this. I used to be a dumb guy on Wall Street Bets and lost big trying to get out of poverty, and I don't recommend it for anyone. Robinhood is such a leech with the free stock invites while they seep money from you. Yeah. They literally sell your positions. Well, not your positions, but like what you're trading to these fucking high frequency traders too. So, thank you, Comrade Riot, for the 100 gifted subs. Holy shit. Poggers. We are going to talk about Enrique Tarrio. Shocked to find out, ladies and gentlemen, that the Proud Boys leader was an FBI informant.
Hasan,
Wow.
this is a great interview.
So weird.
Did you watch it yet?
So weird, so shocking. My surprise Pikachu face, dude. Anyway, let's get right into it. I already beefed it up. I already fucking gave you an intro to the story like no other. Holy shit, it's time to fucking learn a little bit more about stocks. But more importantly, let's take a look at the GameStop story about GameStop and how people are fucking losing their minds while they're trying to simultaneously comprehend what the fuck is going on, okay? And what do I mean by this? What do I mean by this? Are you still confused as to what's going on? Are you still unaware of what's happening? Hopefully I will be able to offer a little bit of clarity. I did like 3 hours on this last night, and because I think it's a wonderful story. It's a very funny story. It is like a perfect story because it exposes the inherent flaws in how stocks are priced out. It is actually the little guy taking advantage of a bubble for the first time. We shall see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't turn into the fucking mortgage crisis. You know, that would not be great, but if you are confused, hopefully by the end of this, you will no longer be confused. So let's start with Fox News. Maybe this is a good example, or this is a good summarization of all the events that took place.
As of right now.
But before we do that, I just lied to you. Before we do that, it is top of the hour. Every hour, it's time for a 60-second ad break. Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, and MBs, the first ad break of the day. Top of the hour, every hour. You get a 60-second ad break. You would no longer want to see the ads. All you need to do is subscribe, folks. You could do it for $5 or for free with your Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. Here's the fucking ad. No. All right.
Is up about $100. The price is $248 per share, up 68% from yesterday's close. Earlier, it was above $300. Susan, you know what this is all about. Take me through the whole story, please.
Social media average Joes versus big money players. And guess what? The army of average Joes are winning so far, at least for now. But the question is, for how long? Elon Musk even tweeting out his approval with his tweets rallying the stock 30% in the after hours. Elon Musk tweeting game stonk, which is what it's been called on that Reddit Wall Street Bets page that's been behind the GameStop moves. Also, Silicon Valley investor Chamath Palihapitiya says he's betting thousands of dollars on GameStop with the $115 calls for the month of February. Now, GameStop, as we know, has rallied a crazy, they call this insane, 700% this month, literally killing the shorts. Ken Griffin, Steve Cohen-backed Melvin Capital now says that they have closed their shorts. Andrew Left this morning at Citron Capital doing the same, both losing money on that trade. Now, GameStop is worth over $10 billion at last count. That's more than Under Armour, more than American Airlines. And GameStop, I would argue, was a...
There you go.
Yankees.
If you want a better representation of how valuations are fucking complete bullshit in the way that the stock market works, this is it. Don't tell me about fucking supply and demand here. If you have no fucking product and your valuation as a corporation, as a company, as a publicly traded company, is higher than others that have, like, you know, actual international factories and not only do they have brick and mortar retail on top of everything else, but like literally robust online sales, like e-commerce operations and shit like that. This is basically Blockbuster 2.0 getting a massive pump from a bunch of understandably frustrated day traders and retail investors that frequent Wall Street Bets, because one of them acknowledged that you could actually make a fuckload of money if because of the way that these hedge funds had overshorted the GameStop stock when it was already fucking super low, like buried it into the goddamn ground to make additional money. Shorting is like betting. When you bet on a stock, when you bet that a stock, the price of a stock is going to go, is going to get lower in the future. Okay, that's the easiest way to describe it. Fox is lying. Melvin didn't actually close out their positions. Yeah, I think they're lying so that they can get people to sell, I assume.
The perfect target for this type of cartel of day traders. There's huge short interest in the stock, more than double the actual stock float, betting that GameStop was going to fall anyway. So this is a ripe opportunity. Kill out the lopsided short trades on a company that doesn't have a lot of stock to trade. You call this froth, I call it strategic.
Okay, well, I'm not sure whether we differ on this, but I'm calling it a casino, and I don't like it. I think it's going to change the...
Again, dog, you're literally a commentator on Fox Business, bro. Like, it's like an MTV VJ saying these video games are indecent.
Keep up the great work.
They're showing too much skin. Like, you're literally a fucking... You are in it. You're in the thick of it. You describe this kind of gambling as though it is completely sensible and makes sense every day. That's a part of your job, is to normalize the stock market. It is so shocking that these very same people are acknowledging correctly, mind you, that it is literally gambling. Okay? Oh, it's not gambling when you're making accurate assessments and recognizing that a company does not have a good future ahead of it. Looking at, trends and quarterly earnings, I've recognized that this is no longer gambling. It's like, dude, it is no different than saying it's going to hit red because I've seen, out of the 33% of the time it's hitting red, so it's going to hit red this next time. Like, it's just, that's it. That's what you're doing. You're gambling. You're gambling with like extra steps, okay? It's not gambling if you base it on vibes.
I love how news channels talk about internet memes.
The nature of investing, and I don't know what the fallout's going to be. So let's bring in Shah Galani, a long-time market watcher on this program. I say it's a casino-like atmosphere. My question is, does it spill over and hurt the rest of the market?
Someone said it's actually undervalued. No, it was undervalued when it was at like $2. Okay, and they were still over shorting it. It is not undervalued when it's literally valued at a higher fucking number than Under Armour. Okay, you're insane. Like,
Stonks on my 15th month.
You're fucking crazy to say that it's still undervalued, okay? Which is fine. It's whatever. Like, we're just memeing.
Market. What say you?
No, it will not spill over, will not impact the market one iota. It's just what has been going on Wall Street for many, many, many years, if not as long as I can remember, and certainly long before I started trading 40 years ago. And I think your nearest best insight on what's happening is the comment from Elon Musk. Elon Musk is cheering on the short covering and the rallying stock because that's exactly what he did with his stock for many, many, many years, Stuart. Tesla had been shorted infinitely for so many years, and what happened? Every time he put out some good news, the stock rose, the shorts had to cover, and investors, retail investors kept plowing into the stock. This is the exact same story that's going on in GameStop. So Elon Musk has been the beneficiary to the point of the fact that he is now the richest man in the world. So that's why he's cheering on GameStop. This is just part of the Wall Street game.
Well,
Yeah, Elon Musk hates shorts, and yet suspiciously, whenever those covers come back, his stock price has fucking benefited tremendously from it. But anyway, I mean, that's literally this. And I do understand why Elon Musk hates shorting. If you're a fucking CEO,
my boy.
If you're a CEO, of course you're gonna fucking hate shorting. Like, it is indecent. What you are doing is basically, if you have enough money and if you have enough influence, you can literally try, and in a lot of circumstances, actively drive down the stock prices of a fucking company. Doesn't matter what their assets are. Doesn't matter. You can literally fucking say, again, if you have enough influence, you could technically fucking drive the value of a stock down, a stock price down, by shorting it. Okay? So,
Stonks.
yeah, it's not great. Of course people are fucking mad, and that's precisely why there is like an entire industry built around defending it. And those who want to defend it say things like, no, actually shorting is good because it's corrective market behavior. It's exposing the flaws within a company, as I briefly mentioned earlier on. And you can say the exact same thing about what's happening with the actions of Wall Street Bets and those fucking retail investors on Wall Street Bets pumping up the fucking price of GameStop. They are engaging in a corrective market action by recognizing that hedge funds that over leverage or over short are a stock well below what it's supposed to be are going to get fucking clapped up because there's literally an infinite dollar value that you can take out of them if they do such a thing. You don't know what you're talking about, you clown forehead? Yeah, I know. If the stock market isn't gambling, then why does that dude's tie look like a casino? That's true.
Let me press the point. Back in 1999, early 2000, the dot-com bubble. Who was left holding the bag? Who took the big losses? It was the little guy. Back then, they weren't called retail investors. They were called the little guy. Fast forward to today.
I mean, 2008 market crash. The people that got fucked over in the end is the little guy. The people that got shit on the entire time is the little guy. Nobody, I mean, there's still plenty of people who obviously fucking credit the big banks for this gigantic market failure that they played an instrumental role in putting together, and so did the Democratic Party, and so did the Republican Party. Shouts out to Bill Clinton.
Sucks, bro.
But ultimately, when you look back and you fucking hear neoliberals try to justify what happened in the housing market crash, they say, well, it was fucking middle class people that were buying houses that they just could not afford. And that's what it was. They were going out beyond their means, and that's why it happened. And it's because that's why we need to have money safely stored in the hands of those who know what to do with it.
Why would you bet on red if 66 of the time it comes up black?
Anyway. But ultimately, the people that get fucked over is literally the little guy. Like, it is literally the little guy. It's the people that are buying into this push right now because they hear the memes and they like put way too much into it that are going to get fucked over in the end when people start pulling out. The short and simple way of describing to you the 2008 market housing market crash is predatory lending. Okay, is banks offering predatory lending and then knowing full well that those mortgage payments were going to fail and then literally betting on them failing while continuing to engage in that same practice that they knew was bad. Okay.
Yo, hassle.
Who cares about 2008, bro? Move on. Yeah, you're right. Few good videos on Jordan's thread. We'll take a look at this in a second. It's great. I love the copium from these big trade boys, these big stonk boys, these people who are running around as the industry understanders.
Going to be left holding the bag when GameStop inevitably comes back down to earth. We've already got Melvin Capital, a big hedge fund, requiring an infusion of funds. That's why I'm pressing the point about the spillover effect, not just to the rest of the market, but to investing in general.
I don't think
shut the fuck up, bitch.
Going to be any spillover, Stuart, because these big boys, the hedge funds, understand the game that they're playing. They know what they're doing when they're shorting. They know the exposure.
Anyone who tries to tell you that there is like a whiplash, there is going to be like, you know, the fucking average investor is getting harmed from this. No, the average investor is only going to get harmed from this when the big boys start making money again, when GameStop's price corrects itself, okay? But like for the time being, right now, the people pushing are fucking actually regular average Joes. A big chunk of it is like retail investors. And those are the ones who are literally directly taking the money from fucking hedge funds that have absolutely abused the system for far too fucking long. They're milking it, okay? So anyone who tells you like, oh no, it's the average Joe that's suffering right now is lying to you. If they say they're going to suffer tomorrow, then that's another thing. But if they're saying the average Joe is suffering right now, they're fucking lying to you, okay? These are hedge funds. Like, you never get a perfect fucking villain, okay? Hedge funds are Lex Luthor. Like, they are literally the perfect villain from a leftist POV, okay? From the eyes of the average American worker, they are literally the perfect villain. It's not like they're doing a net benefit to society, okay? They literally only work with the wealthiest investors on the planet.
4 months of enjoying your content.
And they do shit like this all the fucking time. So it's great. It is literally great.
3.
Betting that you'll lose your job? What do you mean? Me? Or are you saying that, like, I don't get notifications from your channel anymore? What the fuck? Yeah, I don't know what it is. Why are political Andes on both sides trying to claim this as their win? LMAO. Wall Street bets ain't famous for their right or left policies? Wait, what? I'm not saying that this is like leftist action, my friend. I'm not stupid. I'm not delusional. Even by talking about the Wall Street bet shit, there's like there's an influx of fucking weirdos in my chat that are crawling out of the woodwork to be like, hey, shut up, you mongoloid. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Actually, like, GameStop stock is so fucking good. You're just jealous that you didn't get in on it early on like I did. Like, dude, okay. Anyway.
At Hasanabi siphon these big boys' money straight into my portfolio, plus.
Hedge funds manage money for the wealthiest of the wealthy. Okay? They are the wealthiest of the wealthy, the people that they are operating with. There are some hedge funds that manage like pension funds and shit like that, but ultimately hedge funds literally are fucking, and even those hedge funds, if they're engaging in these sorts of risky fucking trades, then they're pieces of shit that should be punished. And the Democrat or Republican pieces of shit that gave your fucking pension funds over to those hedge funds to literally do shit like this instead of investing alongside the stock market in general are scumbags, okay? Like, they're such pieces of shit that deserve to be fucking punished. They are so bad that they're literally fucking worse than Jeff Bezos. I cannot think of another person that I think is like singularly bad other than like literally fucking hedge funds, because Jeff Bezos exploits the shit out of his employees, okay? But there's still a fucking product in the other side of this, okay? There's still like delivery, there's a product. Hedge funds literally move money around, okay? They take money from those who have a tremendous amount of intergenerational wealth, and they make more money off of that by engaging in this sort of fucked actions, like over-shorting companies that are already dying.
They have. They also know that they're facing retail investors who will gang up on them, as other hedge funds will tend to do, and gang up on guys that they know who have big short positions and try and force the stocks higher. This has been going on. This is it's a principled game, and everybody knows how to and understands how it's played. So the fact that Melvin got caught in this, sorry, you lose. Retail has done a great job of going after a lot of these shorts and actually ganging up on them. This is just part of trading, and I think this is the welcome to the new world. We're going to see a lot more of this. We saw it in AMC. We're going to see it in a lot of other stocks, I think, continually as retail's power increases. And I think we see more and more retail investors coming into the market and working off these sites, the Reddit sites and some of these other chat room sites, gaining a lot of force, and they're going to be a force.
Without liquidity, it would be way harder to invest in companies. And companies would have less cash to innovate with? Yeah, I know, man. If only there was a way to solve that liquidity problem, dude. Shit. No, the only way to do it is by crunching numbers. You're right. Innovation does not exist without the stock market. This is correct. I mean, if you have a problem with liquidity, then I guess you're a big fan of Keynesian economics. You're a big fan of fucking taking money and distributing it back to public resources, public funds, actual workers as well. But also on top of that, I'm sure you're a huge fan of higher taxes so that the government can appropriately fund innovation, publicly funded research. They don't actually care about the little guy. They're just mad the little guy's doing what the big hedge fund managers constantly do. Yeah, they're doing the exact opposite of what hedge funds do. They're doing the exact opposite of what that hedge fund, Melvin Capital, literally was doing. Except in this circumstance, the capital required to take on something like that is tremendous. And you don't have like a fucking $2 billion cash infusion to the Wall Street Bets portfolio. You literally have to do it by being like, this is a good idea, and then getting other people on board. So it's infinitely more difficult than what hedge funds do. And if they were to turn around and try to fucking regulate this behavior, if they were to say like, oh, well, it's actually illegal, this kind of stock manipulation, then why the fuck are hedge funds in existence? Anyway, bro, you've been live for a fucking hour, and I've been sitting in what I thought was offline chat, waiting for you to come online, and Twitch just never showed me you were on. Rip? Wait, how? Are you a retail investor? Fuck no, dude. Are you fucking insane? I own 0 stonks. I think I have a 401k somewhere, but I don't know how much money is in it from the Young Turks, and that's pretty much it. Bro, imagine coming to me and asking me if I'm a fucking retail investor, dude. Yeah. Dude, that's so funny.
In the meantime, video game retailer GameStop is set to continue their head-spinning ascent today. Shares are now up more than 60% pre-market amid an ongoing battle between bullish day traders and hedge fund short sellers that have bet against the stock. GameStop shares have now risen some 700% year-to-date. Christine Romans is here with us on this story. Christine, now look at this price action. It's absolutely eye-watering. The market analyst in...
My dad bought AMC and BB stocks last month. His portfolio is now skyrocketing. Why? Because he's just a fucking boomer? Like, why would you ever... Why would you buy AMC stocks? I guess AMC kind of makes sense.
Me is cringing at the frothiness and all the analogies that we can make here. But there is a story here beneath the surface of hedge funds, the big guys shorting this, and smaller players, retail investors buying it and making windfall profits, at least on paper.
At the expense of those short sellers. I mean, it's like a David versus Goliath story, or it's a storyline in the TV show Billions, or it's a Michael Lewis story novel. You know, it's all of those things wrapped in one. It's so interesting, and people keep talking about it and talking about GameStop. Look, the fundamentals of the company have been rough here. You know, they're not making any money. They've been closing stores. You see these big short positions in the stock, and then this Reddit board, this Wall Street Bets Reddit message board. It's almost like a populist trader uprising to support the stock with these buying of the out-of-the-money options and really hurting the big guys. So it's just been this interesting revolt that somebody's making a lot of money on, someone is not, and certainly is far out of line with the fundamentals of this company. You know, it's funny, in some cases people think it's sort of funny how regular day traders could distort a stock price so much, but one wonders what they think about this at the Securities and Exchange commission, you know, is it manipulation or is it just fair and square talking up a stock? It's fascinating.
Or fair and square talking up a stock is the same as fucking manipulation, and that the actual people constantly talk about the fundamentals, right? Like, oh, well, the fundamentals aren't there. Like, the market fundamentals aren't there. Like, the GameStop doesn't have it doesn't have a good future ahead of it, blah, blah, blah. It's a dying industry, dying vertical, all this other shit, too heavily invested in brick and mortar retail when it's dying, okay? Except the fundamentals in and of itself is just fundamentally flawed. That's it. That's literally it. And this story shows that so perfectly, okay? This story shows it so perfectly. It's not like GameStop somehow in a revolutionary way came out with a new fucking investment or a new invention, sorry, and is doing something unique, and its stock prices shot up 700%. That's not how this worked, okay? It's just pure manipulation, and that kind of pure manipulation happens every single day in the stock market. It happens every single day, okay? Big traders do this all the fucking time, okay? They do it all the time. All the time. I'm sorry.
I know. There's a lot of mom and pop investors.
It is not even remotely different than talking down the stock.
I believe in the game
by or undervaluing it or pushing the stock prices down by aggressively shorting it and getting other people to engage in that sort of aggressive shorting, which is literally what this hedge fund was doing. So fuck you.
Here that could be cheering at this moment and could end up in tears. And your point about the regulators here is absolutely pivotal for me. I mean, step forward Gary Gensler, the former Wall Street guy that's now going to head up the SEC. This is fresh meat, I think, for the regulators of those voices, particularly in the Democratic Party, that will be like, we need to regulate hedge funds. Enough of what we've seen. Go on, go for it.
No, it's so interesting because
my dad said it's literally impossible for individuals to do this. It has to be another hedge fund fucking over their buddies on Wall Street out of spite or something. What a boomer. Your dad is not incorrect. I'm sorry to say this, but your dad is, he might be a boomer, but he's right. Of course, this isn't just by Wall Street Bets, dude. Are you crazy? Wall Street Bets is simply the tinder that started the fire. But like, no, this isn't just retail investors on Wall Street Bets. They don't have that kind of fucking money. They don't have that kind of capital to move this position in such a way, dude. No, like, you're wild. Again, 90% of the stock market is owned by those who maintain the top 10% of wealth. Okay. Don't be ridiculous. Like, don't be ridiculous. The problem is the stock market is now seen as a way for people to make money rather than a way for companies to receive additional funding for expansion or large projects. When the fuck was the stock market seen for that? That is just the lie that they tell you to begin with.
Brokers talking about fundamentals this, fundamentals that. Why don't you fund a mental health facility in my neighborhood? I'm not doing too well.
I'm sorry to hear that, Dono. Oh shit, dude. I hope they do fund a mental health facility in your neighborhood, man. Fuck.
Some of the chatter on these message boards is about how this is just desserts for the bloodthirsty short sellers, who are constantly out there making money on weakness in companies, or sometimes not even weakness in companies. So there's a sort of a feeling of righteousness among some of the people who are playing this game. But I mean, they're going after other names this morning too. So I think this is also kind of a story of the frothiness of the market overall, where you've got story stocks that are getting so much attention and so much hype here. There's just a lot of money at work in the market. There's a lot of interest from retail investors in the market. And now these story stocks, I think, have really gained a lot of attention here. Maybe not warranted, but gained a lot of attention. Someone's going to be hurting when this thing turns. But for now, it's not turning.
Yeah, froth, not fundamentals. We are two people and one mind. I flatter myself.
I think you're fundamentally misunderstanding what's happening. The majority of r/Wall Street bets users own call options. That's how they're able to control a lot of what's going on. Wait, what am I misunderstanding? I'm so confused.
Hey, happy 6 months. I didn't watch for a really long time because I saw an M clip I didn't like a while ago. And
GameStop is mid-cap. Most shares aren't able to be traded due to belonging to company ownership. Wall Street bets certainly had the funds to move the stock enough to drive ETFs and options traders to pile on the momentum caused by a short squeeze. Yes, but again, that's literally what I just said. I said that they were the tinder that started the fire.
Are you
they
serious,
started the momentum, that is without a doubt, but they aren't the only reason, because people are literally currently buying in. There are a lot of dumb people that are currently buying in. There are a lot of smart people that are currently buying in. Part of the reason, though, or at least the funding, the foundational principle of what this, like, the reason why this started is literally because someone recognized that these hedge funds were overshorting a product that was already significantly undervalued. Okay? And that's it.
Fundamentals, this fundamentals that why don't y'all sweaty MFS fundamentalize some bitches. AMC.
Okay, enough. It was an idiotic short. Someone recognized it, and enough people were able to push for it and put momentum behind it. And that's how it started. It is literally like there is no sane, that's the most sane investor reason as to why you would do this. But again, this would not have worked if there wasn't collective action. Do you understand? This would not have worked if there wasn't enough people buying GameStop stocks in an effort to engage in a short squeeze. Like, it would have never happened. And the funniest part about it is that a lot of these people that are saying, well, you know, it's slated to fall, the fundamentals aren't there, they're correct. They're incorrect because they got too greedy and shorted it to the degree that they did. But right now, what is happening is literally people saying, like, fuck the fundamentals. We are going to manipulate a stock price in the exact same way that you guys do by engaging in collective action. When you own a call option, the brokerage needs to purchase 100% shares to cover the risk. When this is done on a scale of millions, you end up with hundreds of millions of shares moving. Anyway. It's great, and I really, really, really hope that they can continue doing this. I love it. I hope that they can do more of it. I mean, look at this fucking meme that came out of it. We're going to watch Chamath in a second. Hold on. This is like a question that they asked the fucking president today, man.
Our team is, of course, our economic team, including Secretary Yellen and others, are monitoring the situation. It's a good reminder, though, that the stock market isn't the only measure of the health of our economy. It doesn't reflect how working and middle-class families are doing. But our team is, of course, our economic team.
Elizabeth Warren had a take on it as well. We're going to look at all the copium in a second. Hold on one second. Where's the Elizabeth Warren take? Chris Cillizza had a take on it. Oh, shit. Hold on. Which one was this? Oh, that's a separate story. Hold on. I'm all over the place here. Yeah. Joe Biden is going to implement the Malarkey protocol, folks. Some of the r/Wall Street bets are brain dead Republicans. Who cares? Yeah, of course. Of course. By the way, if you fucking start hearing from people in the media in the upcoming days, from the left too, who start saying stuff like, oh, well, Nazis are getting on board with this. Oh, well, this movement is bad because, like, you know, Nazis or bad people are engaging in it. Dude, They tie themselves to every movement, okay? This is not like a fucking Nazi-backed movement. Yes, there are a bunch of fucking idiotic Republicans that are at Wall Street Bets, of course. And there's a bunch of idiotic liberals at Wall Street Bets. And overall, they're fucking day traders and shit. So obviously, there's going to be a lot of morons there. But who gives a shit? They're regular old Americans who are engaging in this. They have a little bit of, they have a little bit more money than, you know, minimum wage workers and whatnot. Because they can at least engage in these sorts of like risky, risky trades. But ultimately, they're not like fucking mega billionaires and millionaires at Wall Street Bets, okay? Some of them are trust fund babies and whatnot, but don't listen to the fucking vilification. If there is any sort of vilification happening against what is going on at Wall Street Bets, it's a consequence of people literally seeing collective action against the industry makers, the movers, the market makers, hedge fund managers, and they don't like that because they think that that is volatile. And the market is not supposed to be volatile. People are not supposed to make money like this by literally taking it away from hedge funds who are making these risky bets. Now they talk about the stock market not being reflective of material conditions. Fucking hell, the moment capitalism collapse back, they flip. Yeah. Nazis and racists breathe and eat. I guess I can't do that now because fucking dork Chris Cillizza told me not to. Yeah, exactly. This is like, that shit is so stupid. Sheds market confidence when this happens, whether it ends up good or bad. Yeah. I don't have a problem with shedding market confidence, dude. Fuck market confidence. No one should be confident in the market. Like, people, so many people are speaking out of both sides of their mouth on this issue while they're literally, because what is happening, as I've described over and over again, is exactly what has been happening. It's just who's doing it that's different. Do you understand? Who's doing it is different. So that's precisely why the very same people that are like, don't short Tesla, or the very same people that say like Tesla's not undervalued or Tesla's not overvalued, or the very same people that are turning around and being like GameStop stocks are actually totally overvalued right now and it's bullshit and it's slated to fucking go down, and you know they're artificially manipulating stock prices. Well, bitch, you do that every day. Like, you literally do that. If you're a CNBC anchor or whatever, you're technically doing that. Okay? You do it all the fucking time to a much larger audience. So miss me with that bullshit. And that's precisely why on the one hand, they're talking about it like it's something completely different when it's not. And on the other hand, they're criticizing a functional part of how the stock market works. Because it's all broken. Okay. Anyway, plenty of leftist memes like Marx are getting hundreds of upvotes on Wall Street Bets, so this Nazi Republican crap is total bullshit. No, there's definitely still fucking dumbass Republicans. We're talking about fucking day traders, brother. But it doesn't matter. Use this as an opportunity to fucking bread pill your fellow dummy day traders who think like, oh, we're gonna fucking skyrocket the wealth, bro. Come on, bro. I'm putting enough money into a meme stonk, bro. We're gonna fucking go to the moon, bro. Like, no, that's not how this works. People use the R word there all the time. The horror, dude. What? They're fucking ableist, dude. Welcome to literally just normal America. I'm sorry. I know I try to clean up our language here, but like, if your metric of someone being bad is whether they say the word retard or not, you are about to be shocked to find out that like everywhere outside of the circles that you exist in on the internet, like this one where we try to clean up our language and be as good as possible, is straight up fucking abusing ableism on a regular basis. Like, that shouldn't be your metric of whether someone is like fucking a Nazi or something. That's crazy. as good as possible by fucking my mother, though, right? Yes. Yes, while fucking your mom. This is extremely funny. Tomorrow morning, a subreddit is going to successfully drive a $13 billion hedge fund into insolvency. This is extremely funny in the inevitable aftermath of the country's wealthy elite, the same people who didn't give a shit as millions of people got fucked over in 08, clamoring for the more safeguards on the market to prevent this from happening again because it affects them. We're about to see a chorus of financiers, Wall Street ghouls, and likely some members of Congress feign outrage that our market, our sweet, precious market, was manipulated by a bunch of Redditors. Never mind that in 08, the people who manipulated the system got fucking bailouts.
We talked, we've mentioned social media. I couldn't help but, it's not obviously similar to some of this controversy surrounding Facebook and Twitter and everything else. But once again, what's one of the things that we're talking about is maybe misinformation and pump and dumps, and it's occurring on social media again. It just, I'm wondering whether it's part of the same problem, the type of regulation that we finally need to consider. And like I said, we should always have a...
We got to regulate, dude. We literally have to regulate. Notice that an entire group of individuals who literally make money off of telling you that regulation is a burden and a hurdle and bad for capitalism are now clamoring for regulation because this is the last straw. Always remember, these people would rather fucking die than give you money, okay? They would rather fucking die. Better dead than red is the name of the game, baby. Doesn't matter if you're a fucking Republican or you're a dumbass who literally thinks that way yourself personally. Recognize that those who actually fucking have the levers of power in their hands would rather die than let you have a moment of happiness, a moment of clarity, a moment where you think for a fraction of a second that you can maybe pay your fucking baby sister's cancer treatment because now you have a fucking crumb of disposable income. Okay?
A light touch with regulation, but you're seeing the way things can get started. Again, this is different. Maybe it's Reddit, maybe it's not Facebook, but you're seeing the same situation. At this point, it's not about an election. It's not about an insurrection, but there are interesting things happening that seem to be spawned to some extent, or at least blown out of proportion by social media again. Adina.
Well, I do think, though, that as we look at these new technologies that are there available to everyone, including investors, I think it's also important for regulators to understand that, manipulation is manipulation, whether it's happening through a new technology medium or it's happening through traditional mail. So I think it's just a matter of making sure that we understand what the behavior is, what's underpinning the behavior, and working appropriately with the regulators to manage the situation, regardless of the technology that they're using.
Yeah, it's bad, dude. It's bad. We got to fucking... This new technology is real bad, dude. Securities impact related market conditions. Ameritrade, in the interest of mitigating risk for our company and clients, we have put in place several restrictions on some transactions, GME, AMC, and other securities. We made these decisions out of an abundance of caution amid unprecedented market conditions and other factors. Wow. Oh, so if you're on Ameritrade, you can't buy. Okay, got it, dude. That's so strange. That's cool, man. That's fucking cool. That's a free market, by the way. Remember. Yeah, not so free for you, bitch. Not so fucking free. They're only restricting margin on those stocks. Oh, they're restricting shorts. Oh, okay. Never mind. These fucks do insider trading all the time. Oh, they just don't want you to fucking do, they don't want you to short. Okay, that makes sense. Never mind, I was wrong. Apologies. It's still... No also buys? Wait, hold on. Let's look into this a little bit further instead of just like one fucking... Ameritrade. Okay. According to Market Watch, GameStop AMC trading is not being restricted at TD Ameritrade and Schwab. Some major brokerage houses have begun to respond to the frenetic surge in the price of shares companies that have been attributed to rapid buying by individual investors on social media platforms. On Wednesday, TD Ameritrade said it was restricting trading for GameStop, GME, and AMC, as well as other names, amid a triple-digit percentage surge in the price of those companies in recent days. In the interest of mitigating risk for our company and clients, we have put in place several restrictions on some transactions of GME, AMC, and other securities, a spokeswoman for TD Ameritrade told MarketWatch, referring to the ticker symbols of the companies. We made these decisions out of an abundance of caution amid unprecedented market conditions. Charles Schwab, which bought TD Ameritrade but still operating as an independent retail brokerage platform, said that it's tightened the margin requirements in some of those trading names, including GameStop. Or how much an investor can borrow, it placed restrictions on it. The restrictive move comes as shares of video game retailer GameStop have shot up by 1,600% in January as traders gathered in online chat forums. Okay, but what have they done? They raised requirements for GME and AMC to 100%, emphasizing that Robinhood doesn't allow shorting of equities or allow customers to trade naked options. However, the recent run in GameStop has been spilling over to the other areas of the market: AMC Entertainment, Bed Bath & Beyond, and retailer Express Inc. Oh my God, Express. The recent volatile trade has made even some Wall Street uneasy with worries of a bubble, the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Jesus Christ. Regulators have been mindful of the recent action. Okay. CNBC's David Faber said he's hearing a number of hedge funds are in similar trouble that Melvin Capital saw in its GameStop GME and may need to be bailed out. Jesus Christ, dude. Chatters are whining that Republicans are there too, basically saying fuck working class solidarity, dumbass chatters. Yeah, literally. Use this as an opportunity to educate your fucking fellow working class individuals, dumbasses, instead of fucking freaking out. And yes, because of the nature of fucking retail trading, retail investments, they are literally fucking working class. They're dummies who literally have like a little bit of fucking breadcrumbs that they're using right now to think that they're going to become rich. Okay, so yes, they are literally not fucking capital owners. They are trying to become capital owners, but they themselves, for the most part, are fucking workers. Okay, so use this as a golden opportunity that it is, instead of fucking poo-pooing them and wagging your finger at them from your moral high horse, from your ivory tower of morality. And some of them are fucking wealthy, don't get me wrong, but still. Wait, an update from Citron Research?
Hi, this is Andrew Left at Citron Research. Around 6 days ago, I did a video explaining 5 reasons.
Oh, that was really funny. Yes, oh, Jesus Christ, this guy's back. Oh, God. Oh, this guy. Oh, this is so good. He's not dead. He hasn't killed himself, so that's good. You know, that's... We're going to watch Shamath, okay? That is literally the fucking cherry on the top, okay? Chill. That is the cherry on the top. I am giving you the whipped cream right now. I'm putting the fucking sundae. I'm putting whipped cream on top of it so you can finally get to the fucking cherry, the end of it, okay? The finish line. Former SEC chair calls for an agency investigation into online stock trading platforms and likens them to the way social media takes advantage of users' behavioral psychology. TD Ameritrade is reportedly banning trading on GameStop AMC stock.
Investors who are investing in it, whatever their basis is. I've talked to some of these people. I think we've all recognized the current pandemic has created a unique situation where many people have gotten into day trading. They really have no idea exactly what they're doing. It's something that they're trying to figure their way as they go. These types of entities, such as GameStop, have created a really difficult situation for these people. They think they're missing out if they don't make a bet on them. They don't really understand what they're doing. I think small-time investors like that, unsophisticated investors.
Hey, what does this say about you or the entire fucking system that you've designed and uphold the legitimacy of on a daily basis at CNBC if you can get fucking owned by idiots? If fucking morons with like $600 in their fucking pockets can get together and fucking own your multi-billion-dollar hedge fund, then that is not an indictment on the fucking morons. It's an indictment on the sophisticated traders, dumbass. That's the point. How are you failing to recognize that? Oh, these people are stupid, and that's why they're putting their money into a stupid thing. Let's not even analyze for a brief moment how the hedge funds are also doing similar shit on a daily basis, because those guys are the sophisticated traders, okay? That's why, dude. That's why, dude.
Are going to be hurt by this. Moreover, I think it really is a risk to the broader market. The point that was just made about the structural issue, the systemic issue of the shorting that's going on when you have this excess interest in a stock beyond what the issue is, that has to be addressed. It has to be addressed immediately because that represents a risk to the overall market. Well, because it creates uncertainty in the marketplace. You know, the dot-com bubble of 1999, I was regulated.
Oh, it creates uncertainty in the marketplace, he says. Oh, damn, dude.
But then also
shit.
Came about because of a lot of uncertainty.
And I interviewed you, Mr. Secretary.
Well, that says a lot about all of us, I guess. But my point is that it's a risk.
But the point, go ahead.
It's a risk to the marketplace. The marketplace should be a place where risk is taken. But
all hail the market god. You do not. You lack the sophistication to understand that the market god. The market god is true. It's like, dude, if there is a market god, his ass is literally on your face right now, okay? The market god went out in public, and the market god has no clothes anymore, okay? And everyone is seeing that the market god does not have clothes. And you're over here still saying, well, we need to defend the sanctity and the importance of the market. What the fuck are you doing? It is like this weird Ouroboros style cycle, this cyclical argument revolving around the dogma of free market enterprise and how the stock market is perfectly operational, and that this is this is one instance where there needs to be some sort of regulation, but we got to literally fucking regulate because it's working against what the invisible hand should be doing. There is no better indication that the invisible hand is supposed to fucking reach around and fuck your ass than these people that are in positions of power literally saying the first time that the invisible hand works against the interests of hedge funds, that's a problem and we need to regulate it. Do you understand? This is how the system has always been designed. This is how the system works. This is how it's always been fucking designed. And yes, I do feel terrible that Donald Trump is not here to tweet through this. I'm going to be honest with you. I do. I think about it. I thought about it last night when I was covering it for like 3 hours. And I've been thinking about it, like what would happen if Donald Trump was alive right now, but he's not. His Twitter account is gone, so he might as well be, Like, imagine the fucking tweets that would come out of Donald Trump, the content king. Like, Melvin Capital, bunch of losers. Like, update. I watched Citron Research. Andrew left. Nipples protruding. He's so sweaty. He's crying. Cry more, loser. You're no longer welcome in my golf clubs. Yeah, Citron Research, more like Shitron Research, believe me. Very disrespectful. Okay, let's see. Once the market gods are... Where is it? The market gods. Ed Mackey, the Malaki.
Reckless risk, and not a situation that undermines the entire system. And that's what we're looking at here. This is irrational. As was just noted, the moves in these stocks, both up and down, GameStop, I'm speaking specifically, is irrational. It makes absolutely no sense. It has no basis in reality. That is not what you want in a capital market.
No, and the reason that we mentioned 1999, and I'm not saying this is 1999 because we both remember there were companies that were trading at $20 billion market caps that had no value. We're inventing all these metrics, all these new non-GAAP type earning measured by eyeballs. This is a little different. To Chamath's point and Scott's point in the interview before us, they talked about fundamental valuations. GameStop's fundamental prospects are not 1,700% better today.
Wait, I'm sorry. Why? Like, why? Why? Why are the fundamentals not there? Who cares? Who cares? If people like it, dude, who cares? And also, you don't know. You literally don't know. You could... Now they have so much fucking money that they could actually literally turn it around and operate in the exact same way that other companies with fundamentals operate. They could start purchasing fucking other competitors, okay, and start gutting their labor force. And tomorrow you would turn a different tune. You'd be singing a different tune. GameStop really turned it around. Actually, they used this like they liquidated a bunch of their assets, and they were able to use this big push to really turn it around. Like, you don't know. You have no fucking idea. And that's the reality. It's fucking bullshit. Like, it's literally bullshit. He sounds like gamers getting shit on, gamers shitting on you because you play the game wrong. Yeah. And the funniest part about it is so many of these people who literally make it seem as though the stock market is the best indication that the economy is doing well are like kind of admitting that it has nothing to do with anything beyond speculation.
Than they were a couple of days ago. You've got names like, you know, I didn't want to say them because they might move if I utter them. Tiny microcap stocks of formerly bankrupt video stores, things.
But Charles was looking at this phenomenon some weeks back. Now, you know, Charles Payne, if you look at the catalyst initially,
my dude has the Hasanabi morning voice, dude.
For attention going to GameStop, it was, you know, a guy who was going to take it to the internet level, joining the board, finding a way to be more than just a brick and mortar concern, looked promising, enough for Bank of America to say, all right, this is an issue that's worth maybe $10, $15 more a share. Nothing like this. So what happened?
Right. Well, Neil, first of all, I got to say, I recommended many of these stocks on January 11th or before. I've got the report in my hand that I sent out to my subscribers, and here's the list.
Dude, this dude is literally trying to sell his own fucking email list, dude. Yo, I love this shit. Yo, this is so funny, dude. This is great. Why? The fundamentals weren't there, brother. What are you doing? You're trying to recommend something with no knowledge that it was going to fucking skyrocket as a consequence of collective action? You didn't know that.
The shorts, first of all of this nonsense, all of this noise, all of this whining by Wall Street, it's making me sick. 140% of GameStop was short. I didn't hear one person on TV complaining about Wall Street.
He's right, by the way.
Trying to crush GameStop.
He's absolutely right.
140% short. I told my subscribers, buy this stock, and they made a fortune. I also told them to buy Virgin Space. Virgin, we took profits on that today. Fizz, that's up huge. Tangers is up huge. Neil, you can't allow Wall Street to short 75% of a stock, and nobody says anything. Crush these companies into the dirt, and then when the individual investor makes money, everyone's up in arms. Oh, they're going to lose their shirt. Don't you think people are trading? If it traded 80 billion shares today, people are ringing the register. I have a kid who bought a house. He made $50,000 and bought a house. So yes, some people are going to lose and some are going to win. But if they want to change the rules of the game now because the general public is making money, after decades of the shorts crushing thousands of stocks into the dirt. I have watched stocks being crushed completely to zero, and no one ever whispered anything because those stocks didn't have Wall Street sponsorship. They were small names. Maybe they went public through a reverse takeover. Whatever it was, the shorts have had their way with the market for decades. No one's ever complained about it. So I am thrilled. If you were going to try to destroy a company by shorting 140% of its stock, you have to accept the fact that individual investors are playing the same game that you're playing, and now you're losing.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's right. He's absolutely correct on that take, 100%. Zero falsehood stated on that front. He's right. NASDAQ CEO is suggesting halting trading to allow big investors to recalibrate their positions to combat Reddit users. Dude, dude. This is so good. This is so good because how is that legal? Bitch, they own everything, dude. That's how it's fucking legal. They're literally crying to the referee right now because poors are making money and they're not in on it. God damn, can you imagine if we had a more permanent wealth redistribution program in the form of taxation for these sick fucks? Maybe a goddamn higher percentage of capital gains tax or something? Holy shit, dude. You would be living like this every day. You'd be watching these fucking sweat lords cry all goddamn day, dude. They make the rules, motherfucker, and those rules are slanted against you. So every fucking moment that you shit on your fellow man because they're like liberals or because they're fucking Republicans or whatever, and that they don't know, they want communist China to happen here in America or some shit, these guys are still making all the fucking money. Also, shouts out to the month of January. Once again, like every January feels like 8 years. Like January, for some fucking reason, is always literally 4 months long. Okay? And so far in this month of January, we've had like an insurrection, a hog rebellion, a inauguration. It's fucking insane. Like, it is absolutely insane that we are still in the first month of the year and so much has fucking happened, dude. January is the Monday of the year. Google BlackRock assets under management and show these how much money these assholes have. Yeah, I don't want to do that. It's sad. Thoughts on this Warren take? With stocks soaring while millions are out of work and struggling to pay the bills, it's not news that the stock market doesn't reflect on our actual economy. For years, the same hedge funds, private equity firms, and wealthy investors dismayed by GameStop trades have treated the stock market like their own personal casino while everyone else pays the price. It's long past time for the SEC and other financial regulators to wake up and do their jobs. And with new administration and Democrats running Congress, I intend to make sure they do. She's right. Norway owns what? Norwegian government owns 2.6% of GameStop. Oh my god. The Statens Pensionsfond Utland. We own 2.6% of GameStop. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you it's top of the hour every hour. And it's time for another 60-second ad break. Shouts out to the Norwegians in the chat. Very cool. If you no longer want to see the ads on the ad breaks, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do it for $5, or you can do it for free with a Twitch Prime. You can do it by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and you get one free Twitch Prime a month. Here is the ad now. AMC is up 300%. This is wild. Norwegian government owns 1.5% of all publicly traded companies. Not trying to imply complacency or some dumb take, but Katie Porter is really quiet on this. You think she'd be going hard on this more so than ever on Warren? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because she got fucking pushed out of her her oversight committee position because And now she's like not really saying anything. She's just upset. Click. Oh, yes. BlackRock assets under management, 7.81 trillion USD. Blackstone is 584 billion. Fidelity Investments at 3.3 trillion. Goldman Sachs at 1.8 trillion USD, boys. So remember that whenever people say like, oh, retail investors, like they're fucking moving stocks, they're moving stonks. Okay. Anyway, the intellectual elite have to protect the rabble from from their own excesses. Opinion pieces are here. You can tell this guy smells his own farts. Oh yeah. Oh, dude. Literally everyone that plays a role in the media, especially in like the stonks media, plays a role to legitimize those who are, again, institutional traders, institutional investors that are the smart ones, and they are actually going to keep arguing that, like, you know, these guys follow market fundamentals, and what you're doing now is going against that. You can't do that. You're breaking the game. They get to do that. You can't do that. That's their whole fucking purpose. I mean, BlackRock, even small investors can get in with, though, no minimum 250K. Yeah, well, BlackRock is on the other side of that, so they're the ones making gangbusters out of this. They own 13% of GameStop. So don't worry, the small investors, guys, small investors can't fucking buy into hedge funds. Like people that don't make a lot of money, people that don't have a lot of money saved up, can't fucking buy into hedge funds that are going to engage in these sorts of risky trades, okay? There are predatory assholes who will literally fuck over your money like this. Like, there are money managers who will fuck you over, okay? But the reality is, by and large, depending on how much money you have and depending on whether you can get into a hedge fund or not, the risk of your portfolio management increases tremendously. I just got a call from my bank. My pension has been officially dissolved this morning. Turns out Melvin Capital managed my pension fund, and I had no idea. I'm an old bloke, and this officially ruined me. I'm not blaming you kids because I get what you're trying to do, but this is just an innocent person got caught in the crossfire from this little game you're playing. Dude, it's so fucking disrespectful and disingenuous that you're... It's so fucked that you're doing this, okay? You're such a piece of shit for doing that, okay? Shut the fuck up. That's not a funny bait, okay? Because that does actually happen. That literally does fucking happen. But as far as I know, it's not fucking Melvin Capital that is dealing with pensions. Some of them do, though. No, some hedge funds do manage, maybe not pension. Some hedge funds manage pension funds. But hedge funds are not supposed to fucking engage in risky trades like this with pension funds. They're not supposed to do that. You're literally not supposed to do that. It's entirely the fault of those who gave your pension funds to the hedge fund to begin with, and the hedge fund itself that engaged in risky trades like this. This 100% happened in pension funds in 2008 from AAA rated safe real estate funds. Yes, it did. No, I know. Just read the New York Times article saying that SEC is reviewing this sub and what's going on. SEC, please read. To the SEC retards in the sub, go fuck yourself. Why don't you start investigating why companies can shut down trading so their hedge fund buddies don't lose money? But when people lose money, it's completely okay. Eat a dick. I mean, they're fucking right, dude. They're so fucking right. When you're a fucking retail investor, you don't get a fucking bailout from the billionaire down the street. You don't get a $2.5 billion cash infusion so you can continue fucking shorting your stonks. Like, you don't get to literally do that. They do. Not only do they do that, they cry about it on all the fucking media outlets. And then also on top of that, they can get the referees to fucking game the system against them or in their favor. It's so fucked up. Anyway, I'm still terrified of what is to come, and I still maintain the position that the big boys will end up profiting from this. They always do. It's not going to be the little guy. The little guy never wins in this story. Here's what I had to say about it. After Wall Street Bets subreddit is able to take down more hedge funds by exposing an exploit before these billionaires decide to call the manager of the SEC to take down a subreddit. Remember, a hedge fund can drive a stock price of an already suffering business directly into the ground by aggressively shorting it. But if you decide to push and drive that stock price back up collectively and rate a hedge fund in the process, then you're engaging in something that's bad. There's nothing funnier than going up. There's nothing funnier than going against market fundamentals on purpose and pumping up a stock price purely out of spite against hedge funds. Ultimately, I know institutional investors will still win this battle, but right now it's great to watch them flail around crying to the referee. GameStop is also the perfect, as I mentioned before, GameStop is also the perfect stock for this because gamers despise GameStop. People were literally celebrating GameStop's demise in the beginning of the pandemic. Either you worked there and hated it, or it was your first experience getting shafted by a company with their insanely low buyback prices. Gotta admit, it's really something to see Wall Streeters with a long history of treating our economy as a casino complain about a message board of posters also treating the market as a casino. Anyway, be careful with using pump. SEC will investigate you, lol. SEC will investigate me. Investigate this fucking dick, SEC. I don't even have a credit card, bitch. I don't fucking own any stocks, dumbass. Investigate my fucking cock in your mouth. Investigate DN, dude. We're pumping DN. What's DN, says the SEC? These nuts, motherfucker. These nuts. I literally do not own a single fucking stock, okay? I don't even have a goddamn credit card, so good luck. I stand to profit $0 from any of this shit. And also, if you literally think I'm giving you financial advice, you have to be brain dead. I thought you were going to say investigate this fucking zit with the zoom in. No, that's not what I was saying. Yeah, why don't you investigate some bitches, bro? Seriously. All right, let's keep going. There's more fucking copium over here in our crosshairs. There's one last copium bit that I wanted to show you. We talked about TD Ameritrade. David Faber saying he's hearing a number of hedge funds. Oh, this is the last one before we get to the delicious dessert of Chamath obliterating CNBC.
That's why I thought GameStop
would
go
I gotta
from
pee while
40
this runs
all the
low.
way back to 20. And I had no idea what that would set off. So the reason I'm doing this video is because I cannot answer one more phone call. How are you? Are you okay? Are you in business? What about GameStop? Should I short it here? People I have not spoken to in 20, 30 years. This has captured the attention of the America and every trader and non-trader alike. And also I figure by doing another video, I'll give you wonderful meme creators something to go ahead and meme about me. So first, let's answer this question. I'm just fine. Citron Capital is just fine. Cover the majority of the short in the 90s, at a loss 100%, have a small imaginable position, and I'll let it go. For those who don't have a short, for those with a short memory, you might remember Tilray a few years ago. I learned from Tilray. It was a killer. I saw where it went all the way in the mid 200s, and it settled all the way back down. I think now it's 17 or 19, but it went all the way to $6. I expect the same thing from GameStop, but I have respect for the market. Second, this is very important. I also have respect for the people on the Wall Street bets and on the Reddit message boards. Before there was Reddit, before there was memes, before there was Instagram, and yes, before there was even Facebook, there was Citron Research. We were the voice of the individual investor against the institution. I took the lawsuits. I went to court. I took the questions to lay the foundation. So obviously I support any—
Wow, dude, this guy's a real fucking proletarian over here, dude. He's the guy, dude. Listen, you fucking kids don't know who you're messing with, okay?
Opposing opinions. But what I never did was I never got personal, I never got nasty, and I never threatened a corporate executive, their family, or any shareholders. It was always business. Now, I have to say, since I've actually mentioned that, there's been a fair amount of GameStop shareholders who've come out and supported me and said, hey, we don't agree with any of the behaviors done by those others. But it just had to get put out there. So where do we go in the future? For those who've paid attention, last year, Citron Capital had a wonderful year. We expect to have a good year again this year. The reason why we have respect for the markets. Last year, we had some great long calls with Jumia, with Schrodinger, with Sonos, stocks that were off the radar that went up 200-300% that we gave to our readers. And we have to be judicious about the short book. Even though we have been called boomers many times over the past week, we understand the changing dynamics in the market. So with that, we'll become more judicious when it comes to shorting stocks. Doesn't mean the industry is dead, but it just means you have to be more specific. As for longs, we have some great ideas in the future that we look forward to present to our readers that we think are 4 and 5 backers. And the last piece of advice, and I was questioning whether to say this or not, but I have to, because me being an individual investor, a successful one for over 25 years, have to give this piece of advice to the Reddit people who are watching. When you make your profits, make sure you put some away for the IRS. That money's not all your money, but at the end of the year, you do owe tax money. And I've seen many an individual trader let that money roll, and maybe hit a bad cold spot come April and put them in a tough situation. That's just a piece of advice from someone.
I mean, he's right about that, except, you know, what kind of taxes is this guy paying? I'm willing to bet it's not a lot, okay?
With experience. So with that, cautious investing to all. We move on. Nothing has changed with GameStop except the stock price. Certainly interesting times.
But you can't say, okay, you literally can't say nothing has changed with GameStop except the stock price, because that's the whole point. Now they could literally, now they have capital. Like they literally could they could sell some of it and literally go out and purchase another company, okay? And then wipe out half the employees in that company. And tomorrow this motherfucker would be like, well, my position was wrong. Like, if you say nothing has changed with GameStop, you're admitting that the stock market is all a sham. You're admitting that what you do is just gambling with literally nothing backing it. You can't live in this universe where you act like the stock price increasing is nothing at all, and then it's imaginary, and then turn around and be a fucking hedge fund manager the next morning. You can't. It doesn't make sense. It's either everything or it's fucking nothing. And I'm on the side of it's nothing, by the way. Just if you understand where I'm coming from. Yes, he's right. Those stock prices changing is meaningless. things that move that stock price can be just as meaningless as people pushing against a hedge fund, okay? Because it's not directly tied to an asset in that circumstance. Just like shorting something beyond its like actual value to drive it down is fundamentally a meaningless endeavor that you are engaging in just to make more money. Okay? It's all over. All your stocks are being frozen. All your assets are being seized. You have all the posts and chatter as evidence to prove you're doing is malicious market manipulation. You financial terrorists are finished. Yeah. I've called on the SEC to come and take you away, sir. Robinhood sells its users' trades microseconds before their process to these hedge funds so they can scam the plebs. Now that they're getting scammed, let them eat dirt, I say. I mean, it's Citadel that literally does that. On your side, but the point of clarification, companies don't get any of this capital being traded around unless they issue new shares. Okay, fine. And that takes time. And that will actually change your stock price as well. Certainly. But again, you can still do it. There are ways that now for this new valuation or this new stock price is absolutely a way for GameStop to tomorrow, if they decided to do so, turn their entire fucking business around. They could do it. He meant that GME is still a bad company that is likely to not produce significant return on investment. Even with newfound capital, not much has changed. Maybe new price target that is a few dollars above what it was in mid-January. Good to short. I understand what he's saying. But once again, you don't know, and neither do I. They could literally take advantage of what has happened in the past couple of days and bring on new investors if they want to. Take some additional capital and literally go out and buy an esports organization or something, a growing industry that literally allows them to carve out a space for their new initiative, their new endeavor of turning GameStops into literally fucking hubs of esports and computer repair facilities and shit like that. They could literally do that. I'm making this stuff up. Well, not entirely making it up. It is still aligned with the ultimate restructuring of GameStop. As the way that the fucking Chewy dude was talking about it. But like if they did that, then all of a sudden they're literally they are now absolutely worth that stock price. Okay? And that is because they are doing custom PCs. Yes, I know. I know that they're trying to restructure it into like a PC repair place and also like change their brick and mortar retail shops to the restructure their brick and mortar retail shops to basically turning them into like internet cafe style esports hubs. But then on top of that, they could literally fucking go out and buy an esports team, for example. So share price, not valuation, brother. I know. So what I am trying to do, what I'm trying to say here is that, again, you do not know. Like, you do not know what they can fucking do. And you have no idea. You have absolutely no fucking idea. The principle behind it is still the same, though. The principle behind it is that You can artificially boost the stock price or artificially lower it without actually touching the fundamentals in the way that these fucking boomers talk about it. Now you're making this stuff up. Nothing I said is made up with the exception of like GameStop potentially purchasing an esports team. Everything else that I mentioned with GameStop restructuring is actually real. I didn't make that up. I'm not saying that that's actually a bet that will work. The brokerages are trying to stop this right now by making younger traders get margin called and give up their shares. That is the new price target, not 300. There's a new story behind the valuation, but the story still needs numbers, hence the fundamental value. Traded GME when I saw your YouTube video of this and made 100 in 5 minutes. Still not subscribing though. What? Don't fucking, like, I'm not telling you to do anything. Don't be a fucking idiot, okay? Like, especially if you're getting in at this point, like you're a little late there, buddy. Okay? Don't fucking do that. Opinion, stop laughing about GameStop's stock mania. No, really. Peepo Pago. Stop laughing! I mean, he's right. This is as true as a fucking article title as I've read thus far. As I've also said, the big boys are still going to make the money, and the little guys who are getting in on the tail end, who think that they're going to fucking be able to pay for their chemotherapy for their grandparents, are going to get fucked over if they don't make wise decisions. Anyway.
My position this morning, and I wanted to announce that I'm taking all the profits that I made, plus my original position. So I'm going to.
Okay, is there a better video of this? Because this one is fucking trash with the audio.
I ended up closing up my position this morning.
It's a 600%, and I can't even hear him. Such a weird anecdote you have. It's not a weird anecdote, man. A lot of fucking Americans are suffering from medical debt. How is that a weird anecdote? It's only a weird anecdote if you're in a position of profound privilege. If you literally don't think that so many of these people who are fucking day trading and retail investors or whatever, they're all doing this so they can, like, they're not doing this so they can buy a nice car and fucking flex on Instagram. A lot of them are literally doing this because they genuinely think they have a little bit of disposable income for the first time, and they genuinely think they can pay off a bunch of shit. They can, because money is freedom. That's what it is. Money is security and money is freedom. Money is everything if you don't have it. And then when you do have enough of it, it's nothing. It's meaningless. Okay? But a lot of people need to fucking pay off debt. A lot of people want to pay off their student loans and shit. And then there's, of course, the people who post about how they're lions on Instagram and, you know, talk about a lion does not concern themselves with the opinions of sheep, bro. I'm really fucking on the come up, bro. Like the dudes that were one step away from multi-level marketing schemes, like getting caught up in that shit and selling Herbalife. Like those dudes, of course, exist. These dumbasses that are doing this. I can now write my mom a check and put my sister through college. Or put my sister through the Lyme treatment. This has been a very rough year, but I'm so thankful every single one of you. Like that, there's stories like that for sure.